Across America, too many of our heroes return home only to face another battle, the fight for stable housing. Veterans are overrepresented in the homeless population, often caught in a system that is complex, slow, and full of barriers. At VetMentors, we're changing that narrative. For over 20 years, we've been boots on the ground, not just identifying the problem, but building real solutions. That's why we created the U.S. Military Veterans Educational and Resource Guide book series, a groundbreaking collection designed to educate, equip, and empower. These guidebooks are written not only for veterans, but also for the communities, organizations, and leaders who serve them. From step-by-step housing models to funding strategies, this series gives social workers, case managers, realtors, and first responders the tools they need to act with speed, dignity, and impact. VetMentors believes housing is not charity. It's a mission, a responsibility, and a pathway to restoring honor. Every guidebook in this series is a resource designed to make sure no veteran is left behind, and no community has to say, "We didn't know how to help." This is how we turn challenges into victories. I'm Yvette Jones Swanson, Army veteran, CEO of VetMentors LLC, and I invite you to join us in rewriting the story for America's veterans.
I sure do. I most certainly do. Thank you, everybody, for chiming in today for another episode of Boots on the Ground. We have a lot to discuss today. A lot. And I had just written down a couple things, but then it really hit me today when I was in my meeting with a cohort that I am in with the VBA. There are 14 of us. And the question is, how can VBA collaborate better with various service groups to increase the number of veterans receiving VA benefits in Illinois? And I'm sure they're going to come around to your state eventually, because veterans we don't all have our benefits. We don't all have and it's not us knowing what we should have or where we should go and who should we see, who's out here to help us do anything. Instead, we're homeless because we don't have those benefits. We don't have the education because we don't have those benefits. We don't have health care because we don't have those benefits. But we do have those benefits. We have all of those benefits accessible to us. But how do we get that information out to our veterans so that they'll know what to do, where to go, who to see, who to trust? How do you do that? How do you do that? For real, though. I could tell you, because I'm like, you know what? This is what I've been talking about all of these years. That's why I stayed in this community so long talking about this stuff. Housing homeless veterans. From homeless, transition, rentals, home ownership, becoming investors and business owners. Everything I just mentioned is attached to a veteran's benefits. You want to know how I know? I've used them all. Well, except the housing, because they could never house me. They said, we didn't have benefits for you as a homeless female veteran. of military sexual trauma and being battered and abused by her currently serving Marine, and I had no access to benefits. How? What? But it's still happening today, because why would we have so much money in our community? And why would the Veterans Benefits Administration come to do this huge event, a huge benefits fair? Because we have so many benefits, so many, but veterans aren't accessing these benefits. That's why you're homeless. That's why you don't have a good job. That's why you don't have your education. That's why you don't have any teeth in your mouth. That's why you're walking around broken down, because you don't have access to your benefits. Now, I'm not the expert on all benefits, but I can tell you where to go. I can tell you where to go, and I can show you how you can do it yourself. And that's why I wrote all these books, to educate you in the community, to do what I've been doing for over 22 years, and have housed over 5,000 homeless veterans, and I've sold homes to them as well. Single family, 2 flat, 3 flat, 4 units, and then did it again and again. I have a diagram here. You guys on TikTok, you can see it better. You can see it real good because I can move the phone. But I'm going to read it off. And this is what I do. I've been doing this for over 22 years. I want to say 25 this fall. Take a veteran from homelessness. I was that homeless vet. Everything that I'm telling you is what I did. Everything. Take a vet from homelessness. Even a vet who is at risk of being homeless, there is funding in the community to keep that veteran in a house, in their home. Take a veteran through a transitional housing. My transitional housing was the YWCA. Take a veteran to a rental unit. I've housed over 5,000 homeless veterans, and many of them had HUD-VASH, and various of them had the use of SSVF funding through the organizations that have over $1.8 billion granted to 600 organizations in 6 months. And then home ownership and becoming an investor and a business owner. Now, I'm saying that to say this. Everything I just read off is a benefit to veterans in our community. I can prove it to you. I can show it to you right now. So you might want to get something to write down. And also I'm having a master class this Thursday. So I updated YouTube over here and LinkedIn and Facebook. If you want the link to my master class, email me and I will send you the link. So I'm going to prove to you about being homeless as a veteran in our great United States of America. Okay. Everybody keeps saying, the government should do something. So on August 27th, 2025, Washington, and this is a memo that came out. The Department of Veteran Affairs today announced more than $818 million in grants to 235 organizations across the country to help veterans who are homeless or at risk of becoming homeless. VA awards grants based on a number of factors, including the grant recipient's experience. I'm going to come back to that in a moment. And past performance. And I'm going to show you how to link those two up using my program. In providing supportive services to veteran families and the need in the area or community where the program will be based. Throughout the fiscal year of 2026, the grants will fund local organizations as they help veterans access housing is number one on the list, and housing counseling. That could be, hey, you're going to buy a house next. Healthcare, financial planning services, you got to get your credit right. Child care, you got to use your benefits and go to school so you can put your kids in the child care. Legal assistance. You know, we got some free legal assistance, y'all. Y'all didn't know that either, did you? Transportation. So this money right here, 235 organizations that received $818 million, they need to be using this money for what I just read off. Housing and housing counseling, healthcare, financial planning services, child care, legal assistance, and transportation. Oh, but wait. That was August 27th, and that was not enough money in our community. So on September 23rd, the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs announced Tuesday it will distribute $84 million in grants to an additional 176 organizations tackling what? Veteran homelessness across the United States. This right here was $900 million. Oh, but wait. 6 months later, this NOFO came out, Notice of Funding Opportunity, for an additional 200 awardees in the amount of $855 million. So in 6 months, the homeless veterans population, the community, received $1.8 billion. But prior to that, the community had already received over $3.8 billion. But you know what the problem is? Y'all don't know how to use the money. You don't know how to get the money. You don't know where the money lies. You don't know how to align your business to the money. But I do. Yeah, I do. I've been using this money since I've been housing homeless veterans as a realtor. And my realtor colleagues would say, "Oh, Yvette, it's so nice. You house homeless veterans. How you get paid and they don't have any money?" What? You know, there's a lot of different financial streams, and government funding is one of the biggest ones. I've worked with several. Oh, wait a minute. I have a postcard. Hey now. Hey now. Hey now. Okay, I have to take off this logo in the back because I got in trouble at the VA. I'm like, but wait a minute. Wait a minute. Don't I have a contract at the VA to come here? So isn't the VA my client? But the logo was this logo was the problem. They were supposed to have given me a vendor logo. So great show. The Veteran Housing Insight really matters. Thank you. You're so welcome. And thank you for being here. So don't matter, but I was at the VA. Okay. So Olive Harvey College, Harold Washington College, City of Chicago College, educating veterans on housing. And not just housing, because I would take my whole team, and we are professionals in various areas. So for 13 years, and it was just me. And I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, I need somebody else who can talk about this. Oh, wait a minute. I'm a realtor. I can't talk about that. I got to find somebody to come up in here and talk to y'all about this. So next month, we're going to have another workshop. And then that workshop, we're going to include these professionals. So that went on, and I built my teams up. And over the years, I had to, ask some people to kindly not come back. You're not a really good fit, or they decided to leave because they wanted to hog everything. I'm like, no, you see all these veterans sitting up in this room, It's like 50 veterans sitting in this room, 60 veterans sitting in this room all the time. And you think I'm going to have one lender? No. It's enough to go around. And we're going to do this again and again for 13 years. 13 years. 13 years I created and conducted the workshops for veterans and investors and social workers and case managers and program managers and first responders and administrators. That's what I've been doing. But here locally in Chicago. Oh, it was fabulous. So city colleges, this is money. All of this is contracts. All of this is contracts to do what? For me and for you, because you say, I want to house homeless veterans. What? You don't know where the money is. You don't know where the money is. You don't know where to go get the money from. So all you're doing is just putting veterans in a bed and they can live however they want to live. No, that's not what we do, because we have so many benefits. Oh, I was showing y'all the rest that's on my chart. So homeless, I showed y'all $1.8 billion for homeless veterans. And then we have at risk. So that $900 million and the additional $855 million, that calculates to like $1.8 billion. And that money was granted to SSVF organizations, supportive services for veteran families. That money is used for veterans who are homeless and veterans who are at risk of becoming homeless. So that money is to prevent them from becoming homeless, or to help them get their lights on or gas on, to get their car fixed, to get new cars. I've seen all of this happen, all of it. Love the boots on the ground approach, real solutions. I know. Thank you so much. Thank y'all for being here. And so that's the at risk, and that's those agencies pay to keep those veterans intact. Billions of dollars was awarded to these organizations to use in our community. And then you have transitional housing. Say, what? You say transitional housing. You mean they can't stay forever? They don't need to stay forever? And I'm showing y'all how this money connects them all the way up to becoming business owner. I'm going to break it down. So the next one was what transitional housing. I wrote the book about that. And y'all can go to my bio and go buy it. So this is the book I wrote for our veterans community, our homeless veterans community who are all in transition. This book is to help you set up your veterans shared living model, which is transitional, unless, and I always give this one stipulation, unless that veteran has no other place to go, and that's how you set up your model. And guess what? Because of all of this funding that's in our government, well, not in our government anymore, it's surrounded in all of these organizations. I show you how to get that money, how to partner with them. Who are they? Where are they? They don't advertise on the side of a bus. You don't know who on the list of over $9 billion. You don't know who's on this list to help you run successful programs in your veteran shared living model homes. Because you're not just putting a veteran in a bed. You're running a program to help them use their benefits for better lives. So that's transitional. So we talked about homeless. That's the money that was granted to all for all of these awards. Hey there. Hey Mel Jackson. And then we talked about at risk, that was the SSVF funding. Then we talked about transitional. That's in the green money folder. That's in the green money folder, transitional. We have veterans who come out of, I didn't even put it on here. Oh my, I'm glad I have to redo this. So these organizations are organizations that I conducted workshops at and in. Can you see that? Okay, all these organizations right here. That's the back of my business card. I can do master classes. I have a ton of books. That's how you engage initially. Send me an email. Send me a DM, and I'll send you my email address. And you send me your information. I'll send you an engagement letter of how you get connected with my private group. I do have master classes that are open to the public, but you still have to have a pathway of being here. I have the book. I wrote the book. And my book was released on Amazon, top new release in U.S. military veterans history. So you can go to my bio and get this book. I'm also the publisher. I publish all of my information. I've been doing this for 25 years. Y'all just don't know me because I didn't have to come out in the public. I had all of these contracts right here in Chicago. So I didn't need to be here. The only reason I'm here is because COVID, COVID changed everything. And I caught COVID. And then I had a stroke. And then I couldn't walk. And then when I tried to go back to doing real estate the way I was doing it, housing homeless veterans, you don't help. Get the book. Everything that you need to know is in the book. Thank you. So my whole life turned around, and I couldn't work with veterans, showing houses and doing all that. So God just set me down and had me focus on getting all of this information out of my head and learning how to not write, because I'm an instructional designer by education and college instructor and corporate trainer. So that wasn't anything. That wasn't new to me. You're welcome. So as an instructional designer, I learned how to put books together. So that wasn't new to me either. All I had to do was hire an editor and somebody to create some of my covers. But the information is from here that I've been doing over all these 25 years. Oh my God. So we're talking about how do you really house? Can I read your book for free? Can you? You can try. I don't know what you want to do. You can try. What you gonna read the book? Let me tell you something like this. Proper knowledge. It's not free. You know why? And a lot of this stuff I'm giving you, I'm showing you where all this money is. So let me finish this, and I'm going to come back to answering David over there. So now you went through transitional housing. There's funding for you if you decide to do it with these funding structures. Okay. So then they have to leave that transitional unit and go somewhere. Where are they going? You just letting them just go. Your time is up here. Where are they going? Really, you are an investor, right? So don't just think that you're going to house a homeless veteran in a house. I'm going to rent it out and then house veterans in it. Okay, we call that something. And we call that a money grab. Go ahead, get paid. But the way that you can really impact and make a difference in veterans' lives is by creating programs that are in alignment with the funding. And that's what I show you how to do in my private group. With all of this funding, from being homeless to being at risk, because they could be renting in your unit and they're at risk of being homeless and they need some money in order to stay. Where are they going to get it from? How are you going to help these veterans? My investors call me. I'm like, Carol, why you call me 6 months later? Oh, Yvette, I thought he would call you. So I called the tenant. Why didn't you call and tell me what was going on? Because I thought I could handle it. The first month you couldn't handle it. That should have been a phone call. Because we've got funding in our community for at risk of being homeless veterans. There's funding for that. We have funding in our community, again, for transitional housing. And I wrote the book about that. You can buy my book and read all about it. When you buy the book, take a picture. Send me the picture so that I can add your state. If you're not up here already, we're already in 30 states. And we will engage, you will engage with the community and how I teach you, how I've been doing this for damn near 25 years. So then rental. So after the veteran transitions out, where are they going? Where? There's more funding for their rentals. There's more funding. It has nothing to do with the billions that I told you about either. There's more funding. And that's what I talk about in my upcoming masterclass this Thursday. The second step, because you're thinking right now, I'm just going to do a shared living, co-living, and that's what they going to be because I'm going to get paid. Hey, yeah, that's what you're thinking right now. That's too shallow. That's baby brain. I want to teach you how to get some grown folk money. I want to pull up in here with my driver. That's that type of money. Somebody said to me, Yvette, you drive a luxury car. I'm like, it ain't all that luxury. Yeah, okay, it's a Land Rover, but let me tell you what luxury is to me. To me, what luxury is having a driver drive me. That's luxury. I'm just driving a car. It's getting me here. My husband told me, he said, the form that I got in the mail says you need new tires. I'm like, okay, what? What you want me to do? So he got me new tires for Christmas. And then he said, you need brakes. I'm like, I don't hear them squeaking. Because look, as long as the car can get me from A to B, I'm good. I'm good. That's not luxury to me. Luxury is having that driver. So I kind of digressed. But this is the type of money I'm talking about. This is the type of money that gets you your own driver in your own whatever car you want, cars, to take you around, to pick you up from your door, to have your masseuse come 3 times a week or whatever your luxury is. That's this type of money. Even beyond your wildest dreams. And not just for yourself, because the veteran has the same opportunity, more so than you if you're not a veteran. But even if you're not a veteran, your dreams can also come true using my models. I'm still proving it to you, so don't go away. I talked to y'all about this $1.8 billion that people are using. So now we're into rentals because they have to leave their transitional unit. And this book again is in my bio. They have to leave that transitional unit. So one of the benefits has to catch them. It has to. But in order for it to catch them, to go to rentals, they have to know that that could be a benefit for them. And how would they know that? Well, as part of your program to help them know that and to connect with the organizations that help them move on up. Can you say that? We're moving on up. Y'all know I housed over 5,000 homeless veterans. I taught 3 teams. And I think one person, is Andrew still? I don't know if Andrew is, but I know Tamara, before she moved to Georgia, she was, because I saw her at the VA. I said, hey, thank you. Somebody is still here caring. Even after I left, she still carried it on. And that's what I want to teach you all how to do. Don't be afraid to talk to a homeless veteran. We get a lot of benefits. We are the beneficiaries of Uncle Sam. I'm a niece. I'm gonna show y'all the rest of the money. So just stick with me. So now rentals. We have, and that's my master class that's coming up, because after you move these veterans from your transitional unit, you are not just a housing provider, you are an investor. It's time for you to go get some more homes, some more apartments, some more places where veterans can move to using 𝐒𝐈𝐍 and continuing to use SSVF funding. Probably some philanthropy organizations or some corporations, because they all have money for veterans. Y'all didn't know that, did you, though? I did. I did. That's how I was making my money and still making my money as a realtor, as a contractor, as a consultant. I don't talk for free, so please don't call me. You can email me and I will email you an engagement letter. Your first step is to read. Read. I tried to do consultations over the phone, and people just want to talk. They want to tell me all of their dreams, all of their aspirations, all of their passion, why they're passionate about housing homeless veterans. And I used to be a homeless veteran. Okay, by the time you done paid me your money, you haven't learned nothing, because you just kept on talking. There's no pathway, nothing. So I just stopped. No more phone calls. Don't call me for nothing. Go get my books, read the books, and then you can let me know you got it. When you get the books, take a picture, email me your name, full first and last name, your city and state, and give me something. Why do you want to be in this community? Why do you want to house homeless veterans the right way? That's what I want to know. Don't ask me nothing, because I'm not going to tell you. What I will tell you is in a book. Is in a book. Hold on, let me get my books. Is in a book. Is in any of my books. Any of them. Any of them. This was the 3rd edition Veterans Real Estate Guide for Today's Market. And all of my books are on Amazon and in my website, VetMentorsOnline.com. Get a book. Don't ask me nothing until you've read something. Nothing. Because I'm not going to answer you. That means you don't want to learn. Can you read the book for free? Go learn what I know, and you write your own book, and then you can read it. Why wouldn't you invest in something you say, you didn't even say you want to do it. All you just said was, can I read the book for free? What's the purpose? What's the purpose? What's the purpose? Really, what's the purpose? Anyway, I digress. So thanks for letting me get that out. So now rentals, that's your 𝐒𝐈𝐍. That's this right here. And I'm so pissed off at Charlottesville, Virginia. I am so pissed off at Charlottesville, Virginia. I've been advocating for a homeless former sergeant in the Army, 72 years old. She had a Charlottesville Housing Authority 𝐒𝐓 voucher from February of 2025, or was it March? Doesn't matter, because she was homeless from January in her vehicle. From March to November, everybody said no. Everybody who she contacted and then I contacted said no. Everybody declined her and her caregiver's application for housing using a 𝐒𝐓 voucher. They were living and still living because they only have a motel room that one of the organizations is temporarily paying for. But because everybody in Charlottesville, Virginia said no, she stayed homeless, she and her caregiver, and then her voucher was terminated. How are you going to terminate a homeless veteran's voucher? And now she has no access to resources other than some SSVF organizations paying for their motel stay temporarily. Make it make sense to me. You have nobody in Charlottesville, Virginia, who can find one investor, nor do you have one investor in Charlottesville, Virginia, who would rent one 2-bedroom unit for $1,900. That's guaranteed by the government every single month. None of my investors have ever called to tell me, Yvette, I didn't get paid this month. And if they did, I said, well, what did you do? You failed your inspection for not complying with one of the regulations. So don't tell me I want to house veterans. You don't know what you want to do. There are so many. I'm not even finished going up this map right here. I'm not even finished going up these steps. So you get a veteran who is homeless or at risk of being homeless, and then they're going into a transitional unit. Then they're going to rent a unit, and all of this is government funded. Then they go into home ownership. Oh, what did you say, Yvette? You mean you house veterans who were homeless and then they become homeowners? Well, yes, I do. And yes, I do. And I was the first veteran I did for myself. I took myself through this whole walk of life. And that's what I've been taking veterans through for damn near 25 years. Everybody knows it. Everybody in the Chicagoland area knows it. All of my realtor colleagues, they know it. Hold on, let me show you something. Even Main Street Organization of Realtors, they gave me the President's Award in 2025. They know it. One moment, please. The Illinois Department of Veteran Affairs, 25 women leaders in 2025. They know it too. They had a special request for me to do something. I'm going to see if when that comes to fruition, I will let y'all know. So now we're on home ownership. Hey, what? That's a benefit too? You mean we get a benefit? We're homeless. We can go somewhere because somebody is paying for us to go somewhere in a transitional unit. That's a benefit. That's some money. Yeah. At risk, or you won't lose your place, or you got water bill. Oh my God, it's so many different things, but you cannot abuse. You cannot abuse, and some veterans, unfortunately, have done that. So they put stipulations on the amount of use or the amount of time. So you can't say, okay, well, this happened to me this month. I'm good now. Oh man, it happened again. Oh, I need another resource. So they're all connected. They know, it's like a chain gang. They know when you've used or misabused. because I was trying to help a veteran one week, and I'm like, look, can't you use the grant per diem? We got to get him into transitional housing. He sent me back how much money they supported this veteran with over this amount of time. I said, well, you know what? And their name is on my card too, the organization. I said, it's not entirely his fault. It's not entirely his fault that he needed all of those resources. And I'll tell you why. Because you didn't have your framework set up in your program to help this veteran move from crises to stability. All you did was threw money at him. What else is in your program? So it's your fault. The veteran didn't know. He's got a college degree. He didn't know because he was in your program that he can go, since he was without a job, that he could go to one of the city colleges. He could go to Olive Harvey College, Harold Washington College, or any of the city colleges and go to their vet center and find out what educational programs he can enroll in that'll give him a certification for 6 to 9 months and get paid while he's enrolled in the program, going to school to learn whatever company that is that's supporting this program. And then when he graduates, he comes out into a $75 to $90, $100,000 job just because he got this certification that is in need, like solar. That was one of them. Not electrical, but it was an engineering with, I think it was ComEd or People's Gas from one of those companies. So why didn't he know about that program? So yeah, you got your degree, but right now you're not working, and you got 12 months up in this program. So instead of waiting, you done put in 25 applications and nothing came through. Go ahead and go into this program right here. So because our funding is going to stop. That's how you connect the money. That's how you connect the dots to move these veterans around. So there was nothing I can do for him. I couldn't make another program support him because they know how much the other program supported him, almost $50,000. So you have to be aware of, and the way you become aware of what's in, it's a lot. And that's why I wrote so many books. It's a lot, and I'm still not done. I've got 3 books that I still need to publish. But when you know how to connect these dots, then you'll know how to better service this veteran with all of these benefits. I'm an Army veteran, and I had to fight so hard, so freaking hard, not just for me, but because I was housing and serving other homeless veterans. I had to fight for them and go find resources that they needed. So I'm over here fighting for me, fighting for all of them. And my mama's saying, Yvette, you need to slow down. I'm like, Mom, if I slow down, who's going to help these veterans? They're going to be like I did when I was 19, getting out of the military as a military sexual trauma victim, and then became a homeless veteran because my idiot first husband wanted to be an abusive man. So now I'm running away, trying to figure out where I'm going to sleep, who's out there to help me as a female veteran. So this came over a lot of years to sit here in my chair to talk about this in the public now. I never had to do it. I was always under all of these other organizations here in Chicago. I didn't have to come and see y'all until, that new administration changed and the VA said, oh, all of y'all who, I wasn't an employee, I had a contract, I had a memorandum of understanding, an MOU. Then I had contracts with the city colleges and Park Forest and a few other organizations on here. But anyway, so when that changed, I had to bring my message to the public. And how did I do that? Well, I went and got me some more education. As a veteran, and I have this certain I've got 15 certifications, and I have this certain certification, woman-owned small business. They were doing a cohort for women-owned veteran-owned small businesses, and this was the class right here. This was a 6-week class that I took, which turned out to be more like 11 weeks. And I didn't miss any of them, not one. So our leader, she was tough enough. She said, well, how are you getting your message out? I said, well, you have to. I'm like, she said, be bold. I said, I am. So I got to thinking, I'm like, I got all these platforms to be bold on and come and tell y'all what you're doing out there ain't enough. Seriously, it's not. So I'm here to help you get that information, get that knowledge, make the money you're looking to make housing homeless veterans, and help these veterans achieve more in life. So we've used money from so now home ownership, that's a VA loan. That's another benefit that veterans receive. That's the VA loan that's in this book. As a veteran, how do you use your VA loan? As the spouse of a veteran, can't you help your husband? I have a lot of wives calling me, Vet, can you talk to him? I'm like, girl, that's your husband. When you're ready, just let me know. I'm here. You got the book, you ready, you know the steps. But let me know, I'll give you, send you to one of my showing agents, because I don't show houses like that anymore. So that's the VA loan. So we talked about homelessness and transitional. That is funding through SSVFs and other, us a lot. I mean, it's just a lot of terms of where all this money is. Philanthropy organizations, you've got fiduciaries, you've got, you've got a lot of places where money is for veterans. And it's just not throwing money at them, is using the resources, like the veteran who is still homeless in Charlottesville, Virginia. There's an organization that has them up in a motel for now, but those days are winding down. And the voucher has been terminated, but in 11 months, everybody kept saying no. So that's why I wrote the book for realtors. So realtors, y'all can learn this. Investors can learn how to house homeless veterans and stop. This is a federal benefit. All of these are federal benefits that veterans have that we should be able to use. But we can't use it because we have uneducated professionals. And it's just information. That's what uneducated means. You don't have the information. You don't have the knowledge. So now the veteran is using their VA loan for home ownership, but don't stop there. This same VA loan that's in this book will allow a veteran to purchase a single family home, a 2-flat, I think y'all call it somewhere else, a 2 duplex, a 3-flat, which is a triplex, and a 4-flat, which is a quad, and new construction. And if you want to buy, I used to tell my veterans when they would come to my workshop, I said, I only sell pretty houses. And I only said that because the VA loan wouldn't allow for, I'm talking about the straight VA loan, would not allow for a veteran to buy an ugly home and rehab it. If it didn't pass these quality checks, then no, we're not giving you this benefit. No money down, no PMI, and if you're a certain percentage disabled veteran, there's no property taxes. So it's a lot of benefits with that VA loan, but you cannot buy a shack with it until a lender went to Jesse Brown VA director's office and said, I'm a Navy veteran and I'm a lender and I want to talk to some veterans about getting a VA loan. And guess who they called? The director's office called me and said, Yvette, we told him if there's anything he's doing down here for veterans in housing, then he needs to talk to you. I'm like, okay. But they called me always because I had an MOU. So I was the veterans realtor at the VA hospitals and the vet center. So I'm the direct contact. So I called him up and he started telling me about the VA 203K renovation loan. And I'm like, that's what we've been missing. Because these veterans, there's some houses that look good and they were selling as is. And the inspection came back and we knew it would come back like, ooh, that's touchy, but yes and no. And we needed that. So I invited him to the team and we started doing some VA 203K renovation loans. And these veterans now can go look at ugly houses. Sometimes I still didn't go in. I don't like a stinky house. I don't. So that's another benefit. Thanks for those hearts. That's another benefit. So now we're using money for a homeless veteran, federal money, and the grants that these organizations have received. That's for homeless and at risk and transitional. Thanks for joining my club and transitional. All of this money is in the community. And then rentals, that's your 𝐒𝐕, and that's what my master class is on this Thursday, because you have to think higher than just having a transitional home or an independent home. Okay, that's fine. You get that independent home, but you can be helping these veterans gain their independence while you are connected to this federal funding source to pay you as a provider, and not tell the veteran, oh, you got to pay me out of pocket. You get money, give me your money. No, you allow these organizations to send you all the veterans, because if we have all of this money in our community, why do you think we have all this money in our community? Who is all this money for? All this money came from the VA, so all of this money is earmarked for homeless veterans. You just don't know how to get it. So I do. So go get my books. That teaches you how. Enjoy my masterclass this Thursday. And then, come into the community, because that's how you learn. You can ask me anything you want to know, and I'm going to tell you to go get a book, because I have an engagement pathway. And it's for your good. It's so you can have that solid foundation when you say, Yvette, I want to do veterans housing. That's wonderful. Go get the Veteran Shared Living Models Home book. Hold on, let me show it. Go get that book. Go get A Guide to Veteran Shared Living Models. Go get this book. And then that'll help you determine what type of veterans housing you want to do. Do I want to work with this population, that population? Do I want to do, and then I show you how to find the organizations even before. I love my book. Miss Wanda, please send me your picture holding the book and tell me what city and state you're in, because we have a whole movement going on. We can't let these veterans just sit and rot. We cannot. Somebody is trying to call me and they do not have an appointment. So now, the veteran, where are we? Home ownership. We talked about home ownership, right? So as an investor, that's why I want to keep you all. Don't be limited in your thinking. Just, I'm going to get $10,000 a month for one house, and I got 10 houses. That's $100,000 a month. Okay, well, guess what? You can get even more, and help. And then from those homes, then you'll have your properties where now they're renting, so you can help them go up this ladder in your own real estate portfolio. And when they're done renting, because now you done, these are more benefits, right? Now they set down with the VSO, this part of the federal benefits. You got VSOs with Illinois Department of Veteran Affairs. You have VSOs with the county. You got VSOs just all over everywhere. So there's no reason why a veteran cannot sit down with somebody and put in claims for their disability. So now this veteran has resources. What if they get 100%? Man, that's everybody's goal, to get 100% service connection disability. That's to start like $3,400 a month. And then now, because you've helped this veteran go through programs that I teach you, now the veteran has good credit. And with that steady income, now the veteran can say, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and relinquish this 𝐒𝐓 voucher. I'm going to let another veteran use it, because once that voucher, once he stops using that voucher, that number goes back. The total number, that number goes back. So that's like you're on a waiting list, put it that way. So now that voucher can go somewhere else to another veteran. And this veteran bought a house. He's in my book too. And that's what he told me. He said, Yvette, there he is opening his door right there. He said, Yvette, I did everything you told me to do. I said, I know, because he comes to my workshops. I know. And I'm gonna tell them that they can have this voucher back, because I'm going to buy me a house. When we gonna start looking for a house? I said, as soon as we get you pre-approved, we're gonna go find you a house. And he's got a real nice house. He said, Yvette, come by my house and look at my grass. I got the best lawn in the neighborhood. I said, okay. From homeless, he was in transitional housing. I'm not gonna name which one. To 𝐒𝐓. He stayed there for 5 years. He did the grass for the landlord. And then he bought a house. 100% service connected. But he wasn't 100% service connected when he was homeless. So that's why benefits matter. And I just took y'all up the whole chain. Then I have other veterans who purchased 2 units 2 times, 3 times, because you can use that VA loan over and over. There's a process for that too, and a program. So I think this is I don't know. I can't think for other people, but I've been housing homeless veterans as a realtor, and getting a lot of awards, a whole bunch of awards from the real estate industry, from the veterans landscape, because it's just been various agencies that I would get awards from. And so everybody knows, you got a homeless veteran, oh, call Yvette. We don't need to split the commission, because what? We not. What are you doing? Are you helping this veteran get his or her benefits, or get his or her, they don't have any money and you don't know how to help them get that? And then they need some place to live, so I got to help them do that too. And you thought, what? So anyway, so they came correct because you're not doing nothing but just sending me a warm body. I didn't need that. I get my warm body straight from the VA. So all I would have to do is tell him, listen, I need you to go to homeless walk-in and do your intake. So they'll let you know which services and which benefits you'll be able to use. Now let's go get you an apartment. That's it. Sometimes it's that easy, but a lot of times it's not. I want to thank y'all for being here. If this is your first time, please click to like to share. And new to your page, do you teach others to do what you do? I want to purchase and have transitional housing. That's in this book. So go to my bio and go buy this book. When you get it, my email address is in the book on my copyright page. Take a picture, email it to me. And I do have master classes that I teach. I'm teaching one master class now. My coach, I have a coach because I never came in to talk and teach people publicly like this. I've always been in private places where veterans are. And these are just some of the places where I've been over the years, right here. So I'm public now. So I have a coach telling me that we're going to do 90 days of master classes. So I do a master class every Thursday. So you can email me and I'll send you the link so you can register for that master class. And I have a series of books. My series is on Amazon and on my website, VetMentorsOnline.com. The series is called U.S. Military Veterans Educational and Guidebook Series. And I think I've got 10 books in that series right now. Some of them, I think a couple journals, but for the most part, you got to read. You have to read. I teach you how to incorporate your veteran shared living models with government funding. Government funding, not out of pocket from a veteran. And show you, one of my students, Tarita, I don't know if she's still here, said, Yvette, are you going to teach on how to write a program? Oh, yes, because that's how you get paid, is to have your program in alignment with the government funding. But you have to know what they're paying for before you say, well, I want to do this. Well, you're going to learn about all of those models in this book. So when you're doing your research, and I teach you how to research, and I give you all the organizations, and you have to contact the organizations or research on their websites to see what population do they service. Is that something I wanted to do? I read in the book. I think I like that population. So now our program is set up in alignment with what they're paying for, because they don't have all the housing. They don't have all the housing for all the veterans who they need to service as part of their grant. They have to partner with community providers. They have to. It's a must. You can't get 4 point. Let me see. Let me tell y'all how much let me just give you this one came from the $818 million to 235 organizations. So you can't get, here's somebody in Iowa, Hawkeye Area Community Action Program, $2,538,510 in grants. And do what? You have to do something with that money. So what does Hawkeye Area Community Action Program do in our veterans community? Is that a program I could set up to help solve their problem? Is that something I can provide and get a contract for, get an agreement for, where they pay me and send veterans to me, and we take them through not only their program, but I have my program too. Because for this money, and I don't just teach you how to stick and stay with these organizations, I teach you how to become one of these organizations. So your veteran shared living model home can be listed on this list of millions. Okay. Here's one in Maryland, Project Please. I always talk about Maryland. They received over $4 million. So this money right here, thanks for those hearts. This money right here, the $818 million in grants to 235 organizations across the country to help veterans who are homeless or at risk of being homeless. In order to receive one of these grants, one of these years, this is what you have to do. You have to set up your program and operate it as if you are already on this list. But how are you going to know what they do? That's what I teach you in my books and in my master classes and in our private. I do private strategy calls, but after you've engaged in my community and after you have already written your program, and it doesn't have to be perfect, and I'm sure it won't be. That's your strategy call. And we do 3. You sign up for me for 3 calls, not just one, because you won't get this in one strategy call. You will have homework to do. But what will it gain you? What will it gain you to set up your veteran shared living model home as one of these grant recipients when you start out? It will help you, and this is what the grants do. VA award grants based on a number of factors, including the grant recipient's experience. So as soon as you open, you have your program set up in alignment with receiving the funding from these organizations that are already receiving funding. So you're doing that for a year or 2 or 3, you're gaining your experience. And then it says, and past performance. So what did you do while you operated your veteran shared living model the past 3 years? What was your past performance? Who did you help succeed in life? Hey, that's what I teach you how to do. That's what I've been doing for like 25 something years. I say 20 plus, 22 plus. So thank y'all for being here. I'm about to finish some homework I have because I'm doing a master class this Thursday. How do you join your community? This has been real dear to my heart to help veterans. Send me a DM and I'll send you my email address and I'll send you an engagement pathway. Your first path is to get the book so you can understand what veterans housing is through program applications, not just putting them in the bed and cooking a hot meal. No, I teach you how to help these veterans get these benefits so that they can leave your transitional unit, so that they can go to your rental unit, so that you can buy a house and fix and flip it so that they can buy it, or have a pathway for them to go and buy a house, pathway to home ownership. So it's a whole program, a whole process to help you understand how veterans housing should work if you really want to help veterans. Because a lot of people tell me, I have a passion and it's been in my heart. And yeah, you have to know more than that. It's a love thing. You got to know the business behind it. Yes. So thanks for that amazing question. Where can I find? It's in my bio. It's in the link tree. And then when you get the book, take a picture and send it to me. Because I want to, I want to get a board and put in, I have my assistant. I've got one, but I didn't blow it up to show. I get it because I've been trying to. It's a lot. It's a lot. How you join your community, buy a book. And then thank you. Is there any programs to do what? In Arizona. So yeah, my program is national. I am the national veterans homeless housing advocate, realtor, and veterans housing strategist in the GovCon space. So I'm a government contractor that's here in the business space to teach you all to become providers and work in the government space. So that's what I do. That's what I do. I just love teaching. And also, I mean, y'all can learn so much. I just took it down, I put it in my office, but I also write veterans village plans. So I've written several veteran village plans for suburban areas here in the Chicagoland area and for private developers and private investors. And yeah. So there's money to be made, and it's enough to go around because we have homeless veterans in every city, every state, becoming homeless every day, being discharged homeless, being released from incarceration homeless. I've had veterans who are discharged from the hospital. There's one veteran who was discharged from the hospital. She was discharged twice, and the VA let her walk out the door from the hospital. This is her right here, senior veteran. She did 3 tours of duty, 2 Bronze Stars, and get this, she was 100% service connected, and y'all can add the money, 100% service connected. She also got her Social Security, and she also got her retirement check. And she went to a real estate company. She told me which one. I'm like, I understand, because realtors don't know how to house homeless veterans. Thanks for joining my club. And it was just horrible. But she started living in a motel where somebody told her. I'm like, how did you find this motel? Well, my friend at the VA, and okay, you're safe. And then she was living with a friend, and her daughter was hitting her. You know, she's laying down, she'll come and punch her or kick her. I'm like, oh my God, how can you do this to somebody? So I got her housed 2 times. The first time, the first night, she had some type of episode, and my husband and we went over there and called 988. Ambulance came and got her, took her to the hospital. And I said, okay, she needs to go to the VA. Well, she's going to the nearest hospital. I'm like, oh God. So we stayed there till about 1 o'clock. I came back the next day. She said, Yvette, they won't let me take a shower. I'm like, why won't y'all let her take a shower? She's a fall risk. When did she become a fall risk? This lady walks better than me. What? So I stayed with her in the shower. She got to help her bathe herself and stayed there washing her back and legs. And because the lady said, you can't leave the bathroom. Well, I'm not going to just stand up here and watch this naked lady take a shower. I'm going to help. Because you said, Yvette, get my back. I'm like, okay. So I used to take care of my mom when she was to 92 when she passed. So I know how to take care of seniors real good. And so they transferred her to a mental institution way up on the north side. She was up there for 21 days. And then they released her son, Ghost, took her to the VA, and I'm not a vet. I am a vet in need of information. Okay. I don't know what information you need. Ha ha la la. That's a cute name. And took her to the VA. And then the next day when they released her from the VA, they released her homeless. They discharged her homeless. So she calls me before her money ran out. And she said, Yvette, I didn't want to call you and bother you, but I need some place to live. I said, I've been trying to call you. Where have you been? And that's when she told me she was in the hospital up on the north side in a mental ward. They had her in a straitjacket. Like, this people, oh my God, it's just so cruel. So I got her housed the second time, and this time it was so nice in a senior adult community. Beautiful. And she thought, and she didn't want to go there first because she said, they're going to take my whole check. I'm like, no, that's one type of senior housing, and that's not where I'm taking you. You don't need to be fed every day and bathed every day. You're a capable woman. She could call her friend who was her taxi and take her everywhere and go grocery shopping, go to the mall, go to the movie. That woman was real active. So anyway, thank you for your time. I'm staying over here, but I'm going to give my farewell to you guys over on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. I want to thank you here and respect for keeping this focus on action, not just talk. I know, right, Dennis? Because a lot of people say one thing and they do something else or don't do it at all because people think this is it. I just have a passion. Passion project. No, that's not what this is. And then this is such an important conversation. Well done. Thank you very much. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. And then let me see. Love the boots on the ground approach. Real solutions here. Yes, a solution provided, whoever says they want to do the work, do the work. Powerful impact. How can first timers get involved in veteran housing? Go buy the book, all of them. Because if you're not a veteran, you're going to need to learn the landscape of this community. So go buy my books. Great show. This veteran housing insight really matters. Thank you. You're welcome, Anita. All right, I'll see y'all tomorrow, 5:15. And don't forget, if I am having a masterclass this Thursday, so you can send me an email and I'll send you a link to that, and also a pathway of engagement. Have a great night.
Across America, too many of our heroes return home only to face another battle, the fight for stable housing. Veterans are overrepresented in the homeless population, often caught in a system that is complex, slow, and full of barriers. At VetMentors, we're changing that narrative. For over 20 years, we've been boots on the ground, not just identifying the problem, but building real solutions. That's why we created the U.S. Military Veterans Educational and Resource Guide book series, a groundbreaking collection designed to educate, equip, and empower. These guidebooks are written not only for veterans, but also for the communities, organizations, and leaders who serve them. From step-by-step housing models to funding strategies, this series gives social workers, case managers, realtors, and first responders the tools they need to act with speed, dignity, and impact. VetMentors believes housing is not charity. It's a mission, a responsibility, and a pathway to restoring honor. Every guidebook in this series is a resource designed to make sure no veteran is left behind, and no community has to say, "We didn't know how to help." This is how we turn challenges into victories. I'm Yvette Jones Swanson, Army veteran, CEO of VetMentors LLC, and I invite you to join us in rewriting the story for America's veterans.